You know what, Sailor, before you walked in here, I was just telling Katrina, I know the sentiment of done shaving for you. I understand that. You know, I feel like that happens even when you've been in a relationship for such a long time. I love that.
Thank you. I'm sad that you have to resonate with that song, but you know, a lot of people feel me.
Listen, a lot of the songs, and I feel like this is something that you're probably most proud of. So many people can relate to the music that you've been putting out, right? And the painful moments, the toxic moments, the happy moments, but also the not so great moments. But how does that feel for you right now? Is it overwhelming to have all this success?
Of course. I mean, life has changed a lot, but I think I'm just super lucky to have the people around me that I do to keep me grounded. And I don't know. I love connecting with the fans and them telling me specific lyrics out of the project that they really resonate with. Like, it's cool.
Yeah. Has someone shared, I don't know, something personal with you because of a lyric, and it's a story that's going to stay with you forever?
I mean, I feel like a lot of my music right now is giving like crash out energy. So like a lot of people are telling me like that I do not, I mean, things that I don't condone. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh yeah, like I robbed my ex. And I'm like, don't do that.
I didn't say rob him.
Right. I was like, okay. So, I mean, I'm happy that people feel so comfortable to like delve into that with me, but I'm also just like, keep that to yourself. I don't need to know that.
This has to be an incredible time for you. Probably a lot has changed in your world, right? You're on the road. I know you're getting ready for a tour. I want to go back a little bit. I want to talk about your name, Sailorr. What does it mean? What's the name about and the spelling to it?
Well, I feel like a lot of Vietnamese immigrants came over to America after the war by boat. So that's like the very serious meaning to it. But honestly, like my Finsta has always been like Sailor Goon.
Yeah.
That was like my name as a DJ before I like got into music. And so I dropped the second part and just stuck with Sailor. And I wanted to make sure that there was never going to be another Sailor. So I added the extra R.
The R. Okay. Wait, you had a Finsta?
I have a lot of burner pages. I'm
Like
not gonna
currently?
lie.
Like today?
Yeah. No. Only like 3 people follow me on there.
Okay, so what do you do from the other pages? Just curious.
I just put my inspo on there. Like a lot of visual inspo will go up, thoughts, songs that I'm listening to, just random pictures. Like stuff that I can't put out on my main page, I'll just put on that page.
Okay, so do you think I should do one too?
I mean, yeah, if you want like a visual diary, I think it's a great like outlet because honestly, like, especially if you're like a public figure, like, and you can't just post like funny pictures of yourself all the time. Like, I feel like that page, my spamagram, is my safe place.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah.
That's great. Katrina, I think we should think about this. We're 2 moms, so we always have like, you know, it's chaos in our world. So maybe that's a therapeutic way for us to let some energy out, you know?
Definitely.
So would somebody, don't give us hints, but would somebody know if they came across the other pages? They'd be like, wait a minute, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I mean, based off the username, you would find it. And then off of the actual profile picture, it's a really, really, really old photo of me with like a stack of money next to my ear.
Yeah. So now like, everyone's going to go look for it right now.
They're not going to find it. They won't. If
I find it, do I get anything? This can be like, this can turn into a game.
I don't have anything for you.
Well, I want to talk a little bit just more about your inspiration and I want to learn more about your teeth. Now, there is a cultural significance for you. Can you explain that to us?
Yeah. So traditionally, a lot of women in Southeast Asia, it could be like a lot of different countries do it, but specifically Vietnam, a lot of the women would dye their teeth black as like a sign of maturity, wealth, and femininity. And like, I don't know. That's like my way of flexing. You know what I mean? Like I don't have like big money spreads or like big chains or anything. This is what I flex with.
Yeah.
And then I feel like also because I'm from Florida, like everybody gets grills. Like everybody gets 10 top, 10 bottom gold fronts. And like I wanted to be a little different, so I just dipped them in rhodium.
So how did your family feel? Because this is your way of paying homage to your culture. How did they feel when they saw that?
Oh, that shit is, I mean, this tradition is so dated. So, like, of course, my grandma was probably the last person to do this, like, actually, to dye her teeth black.
That's amazing.
So,
yeah.
like, when I did it, my family, like, immediately knew what it was from. But they all clowned me. They were like, bro, like, that traditional dated, like, custom, why are you doing that? Like, but cool.
And that's that.
Yeah, right.
You know what? I learned something today. I didn't know that. So that's I think that's the beauty about just hearing music and understanding inspiration. Like we're all taking something away from it. So what made you want to go with a mixtape first and not an album? Tell us the real. Because look, obviously everybody's enjoying a mixtape from Florida's finest, but why not just have put it out as an album?
I think a tape lends itself to be a bit more casual. Sure. And maybe I'm not 100% confident in myself yet to be like, oh, this is an album. Because, like, I feel like I have a lot more work to do in order to get to that point to where it's like, oh, yeah, like, I'm going to call this an album. But you can call it whatever you want. It's a project, it's a tape, it's an album. Whatever it is to you, that's just what it is. But for me, I just wanted to call it a tape because it was something that we put together and not necessarily knowing what it was going to be before we put it together.
Yeah. What's your favorite song on the project?
Right now, either Doechii or Grrl.
Have you ever took someone from a different relationship in Grrl? Like, I'm just curious off the lyrics. Is this based on a true story? Be honest.
I think the first girl I ever dated, she was definitely in a relationship with a man, and she didn't really understand what her sexuality was at that point yet. And I wasn't consciously being like, oh, I'm finna take your girl. Like, no, I'm really not that kind of person. But we started out as like best friends, and we grew up together and like went through a lot of important moments together in our adolescence into our teenage years. And I think that, of course, that song is very facetious and is like, yeah, like she can't let go of the you know what I mean? Like, I think I like to make fun of that situation because it's like, girl, why are you messing with somebody that doesn't even know if they're gay for real? Like, so yeah.
So you have taken somebody from a different relationship, not maliciously. It just naturally happened.
Yeah, but then we didn't even end up together, so yeah.
All that work for it not to pan out?
Hey, she's happily living her life with 3 kids now. It's cool.
Do you guys talk at all? Has she reached out? Has she congratulated you?
If she has, I haven't checked. I don't really want to know, honestly.
Why? I'm just curious.
I don't really. Once I close the door on something, like, well, there's no reason to reopen that.
What's your sign?
I'm a Sag.
Oh, really? I feel like Sags are nicer in like, no?
Not this one. Not me.
So do you still have the same phone number?
I do.
Interesting.
I do. Wow. I actually want to keep my 904 area code for as long as possible, but I was honestly thinking about changing my number because it got leaked. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you still have it even though it got leaked?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. You are committed. That's like commitment.
If people call me, I'm going to start trolling them. They're going to be like, is this Sailorr? And I'm like, no, this is Patrick. I don't know.
Do you have any idea who leaked it?
Scammers. I have no idea.
You know, the scamming is getting to a whole different level now. I don't know if you get the scamming text messages where they're constantly like, your toll is past due.
Oh my gosh, I get those all the time. Yeah.
They're getting creative.
Or they'll be like, your Amazon package didn't come. We have it here at the warehouse.
Yes.
Click on this link. I'm like, I'm not stupid. Leave me alone. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're getting really good with it, for sure. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about just the support you've gotten in general. You know, we saw Halle Bailey covering your song. We saw Justin Bieber posting it. We saw Doja Cat quoting lyrics from another song of yours. I mean, the list goes on and on. Hold on. And of course, we got to talk about the remix with Summer Walker. Okay,
yeah.
So let's break it all down. Who is the most surprising person that showed you love? That was very unexpected for you.
Justin Bieber was definitely one of them because I was like, what? That was just very random. But I think the person that I was most excited about was probably Doechii, personally, just because we're both from Florida, and I've just always respected her as an artist for the longest time, and I love her music. So,
what was that like? What did Doechii say?
She's just been DMing me, and she shows love on some of my posts, and yeah, hopefully we get a song in together. I don't know.
How did you react, when it first initially happened? Because that's got to be an incredible moment for you.
Man,
right?
I was acting Hollywood. I was like, nobody talk to me. Everybody can go home. I don't care what anybody says. Doechii co-signed, so goodbye.
Yeah.
Good night. We're good. Thank you.
Yeah, that's got to be amazing. Especially when it feels like so much of the success is happening for you, and we're talking about superstars showing you love and knowing how busy people are, but for people to just take time in their day to do something like that.
Absolutely. And I also think it is something to be said about another artist showing love, especially at their level. Like, they don't have to show love to any smaller artists. Like,
right.
Why would they? So, like, I think it speaks to the music a lot, and I'm just really thankful that, like, what I've worked so hard for does resonate with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Was there anyone else that took you by surprise?
Queen Latifah.
What?
That was mad random, yeah.
What?
Yeah, I was like, hey, what's up, Queen? Come on.
What?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
She's amazing.
Yeah, like, we're talking like icons. Whoa. So are you in full conversation with them, or do you get shy and nervous and you're just like, oh, thank you so much? Or do you try to extend the conversation? Like, what kind of personality do you have?
I'm not avoiding any conversation with anybody, but I also just, like, leave everything in the other person's court. Like, if they feel so inclined to come approach me, then of course, like, I'm going to show love and be like, wow. Yeah. This is insane. But at the same time, like, I know that people are busy and they have so much going on in their lives. So I'm not going to be like, hey, can you take the moment out of your day to listen to my project?
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about you and Summer Walker, the remix. How was that experience? How did it come about?
Yeah, she's amazing. I mean, I'm just honestly so impressed by how, like, her work ethic and overall just, like, her ability to, like, work on a team. Not to say that's, like, a surprise. I'm just saying, like, during the actual video shoot, like, she was just down to do whatever, which was amazing, because I was like, that was probably my first time actually directing, like, a full-length music video. Mm-hmm. And it was overwhelming, and I'm so happy that I had the team beside me, because without them I wouldn't have been able to do it. But I think that, like, being able to coach her through and direct her through all of, like, the shots that we needed, like, was crazy to see, because I was like, for a moment I had to, like, step off set for a second and be like, yo, this is, like, real life. Someone pinch me. Like,
was there something that you thought she wasn't gonna do but she was like, yeah, no, I'll do it? And
she stood outside in the cold. Like,
damn it.
It was cold in Atlanta that day, and, like, there were multiple. I think all her shots were outside. I don't know why I planned it out that way.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't think it was gonna be cold in Atlanta when we went there, and like, there's literally snow on the ground, and I was like, ooh,
oops.
I'm so sorry, gal. I'm so sorry.
But she was with it.
She was with it. She was about it. She was like, let's do it. Like, let's go.
I love that.
Yeah.
Was there anything that you guys talked about that resonated with you, or something that you appreciate that she shared with you?
I think overall she doesn't need to say much. She's also very quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't need to say much for you to feel her presence. Ooh. So I think in general, like, having her on set, and just, like, I learned a lot just by watching, like, the way she moves and the way she, like, treats people and, like, her team. I think that, like, watching her move as a unit with the people around her, like, really inspired me and just made me want to just, like, tighten up a little bit.
Tell me, I want details about that. I'm so interested. For a lot of us fans on the outside, we don't know how people move. Like, what did you notice about her and her team that you really appreciated in the sense of how they moved?
Communication's just on point, and I feel like everybody is constantly getting, like, last looks on her, just making sure that she feels good, she feels comfortable, that she knows what she looks like in the shot, in the frame. Like, I feel like all of the working parts, including her glam team, like they were just on top of it, and like it just made me feel very inspired in a way that was like, okay, like she has a lot of people looking out for her, and I'm excited to continue building my team to get to that point.
Yeah.
And it may be small, but just like even the little
that's
details.
important.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's going to determine a lot of your energy, right? After that point, making sure you look good is really just a way of like nurturing somebody to be their best at the moment. It plays a big part.
Absolutely.
You know, 100%. So I think that's really interesting. And it's always nice to see that as well. Like seeing other artists and just people in general getting the extra attention that they need to feel their best. So many times we're just moving, we're going, you know, somebody wants to just start doing their thing.
Definitely.
Hold on, take a moment. Let me fix your hair. Let me make sure your makeup's right. Let me make sure. Because at the end of the day, you're going to bring it back up to me and say, hey, why'd you make me look crazy out here? Why didn't anyone on the team stop me and tell me I look nuts? So, yeah, it's important. I want to talk about the tape's cover. So it's either you are turning into a roach or a roach is turning into you. Which one is it?
Well, it's a reference on the Animorphs, and it also is a reference to Metamorphosis by Kafka. And so I guess in the actual book Metamorphosis, he's turning into a roach. And I don't know. I feel like for me, it's just this whole project is the different phases that you go through growing up from girl to woman. All these very niche and like specific experiences that may feel mundane to somebody like are very integral to who I am as a person and the way that I move. And so I think that, I don't know, am I turning into a roach? Who knows?
Maybe on, you know, some days.
Yeah.
Maybe other days it's the other way around.
Right.
But that's interesting. And why a roach?
Everybody has roaches in their house in Florida.
Oh, okay.
No, it is. It's true. It doesn't matter how nice the house is. It could be a mansion. Like everybody has roaches.
That roach is coming through.
Yes.
Wow. I feel like I learned a lot about Florida in this conversation already. How has Florida impacted you in general? Just like the lens that you just see the world in.
I think I had a big chip on my shoulder, like the majority of my life, and just being angry. Just because I feel like growing up in a red state specifically, not to make it super political, but yeah, like it's a very, growing up as an Asian American in a conservative place where you don't get a lot of representation, and like overall, like you just learn to move within your own community, and you also learn to like tap into other communities that you identify with. And so I'm thankful that like I had that when I was in the city, when I was living there. But yeah, it also just like, it gives you a lens of like how to actually get your message across and also continue being authentic without watering it down. Because I feel like, of course, like even as a woman, like you have to find a way to basically put your message across in a palatable way for people to truly understand you. Because like you go out and say it full front, however you want to say it, people aren't going to listen.
Right.
I hate to say it, and I hate that it is like that, but sometimes like as a woman, you have to figure out just creative ways to say what you want to say. And so I think that's like what I take away from living in a conservative place.
Yeah.
All my life.
I love that you're owning to that, because I think a lot of times, especially for newer artists who have just so much momentum behind them, like yourself, you know, the teams of this, hey, don't say anything. Just be cool. Just be, hey, I love Florida. It was a perfect place. But, you know, I appreciate you just being honest about your upbringing and just you learning how to maneuver in spaces that maybe weren't as welcoming to you, you know, and it's hard, right? So it's nice to hear that. Do you feel in general, your family, the communities that supported you, they're happy for this moment to see you do well?
I hope so.
Yeah?
I hope nobody's wishing me bad things.
Yeah.
I mean, I think my family is excited. I don't think they truly understand like what's going on, to be honest.
Sure.
I mean, of course, they wanted me to go to school and they wanted me to do whatever, go with the grain.
Right. Go to college, get a stable job, get a stable career. Most of our parents wanted that, by the way.
sure.
Yeah. So it's understandable.
Yeah.
But do they get like you're on the road that
No. I don't think they're going to really understand it until like accolades come in. Until I can be like, this is my trophy. They're going to be like, wow. But I think right now it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Let's talk about your song, Will You Lie? In the lyrics, you're saying, because I love you, I'm going to get the least of you. Obviously, the iconic writer, poet, educator, activist, Nikki Giovanni said this in her iconic conversation with the James Baldwin. You had talked about this in your Teen Vogue conversation. So why was that important for you? And what does Nikki Giovanni mean to you?
I mean, she is such an influential woman in general to like, not only as an activist, but also just overall like femininity and how to move within the world. So I think when I made that song specifically, I was in a place where I was willing to kind of just put up with anything in order to get what I want. And like that isn't the most healthy thing. And I recognize that. And I think that was when I had revisited that interview and I had to reference her. So, yeah.
What was going on in that relationship? The inspiration behind like the feeling that you just described. What was going on in it? Because somebody who's listening right now might be like, oh no, I'm in that same situation.
I was in a long distance relationship at that point, and we had been going on maybe 2 years. A lot of just empty promises of like, oh yeah, like you're gonna meet my mom and we're gonna move in together and this, that, and the fourth. And like, I love how much you support me. And I have just basically given this person so much of my time, energy, and space, even down to just like traveling to this person all the time. And it was just like, I was holding on to that, like holding on to the things that I was giving, and not even realizing like, yo, like I really could just be on my own right now.
Right.
Pouring into myself. And so I think that in general, people like to hold on to like memories and just the attachment over just like taking things for what it is and just like accepting and moving on.
Damn, it's hard. And we could get stuck in those spaces for a long time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What are some things now that you know you won't deal with?
My non-negotiables would have to be not doing long distance. You have to have a good relationship with your mom.
Ooh.
That's not me. I mean, yes, I would like to have a good relationship with your mom, but you need to have a good relationship with your mom before I even meet her.
Okay.
What
your
else?
Mother's son energy. Okay.
Nah, for real.
I feel the energy. Yeah.
I need someone that will protect me in spaces that I'm not in. Like, I need someone that I know that will stand up for me and speak good things about me even when I'm not there.
I love this.
Those are just 3 things. I have a long list of non-negotiables.
I love that. And I feel like that applies for friendships too.
Yeah.
I
definitely.
love that already. And I wish like I had that foresight early on in my life. I was like taking whatever. Again, it's like you don't know any better. You're pouring. But all that energy, especially if you're not getting it back, pour it into yourself. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, everyone's gone through this, by the way. But we're okay. We're in a different space now.
Yeah.
We've learned. What's something that you've learned about yourself that you've been working on?
I think that it's the middle ground between like people pleasing and also like just cutting yourself off from people. Like it's that middle ground where you do have boundaries with people without it being so strict and so like just never losing your kindness. And I think that's what I've learned the most is that like I'm never going to stop being kind to people just because somebody decided to take advantage of that in the past.
Yeah.
And that is very hard because I feel like I've experienced that even within friendships.
Yeah.
But I also recognize when it is time to let go. So I think that what I've learned the most the past 6 months, especially after my life changed a bit, you know what I mean? Like, it is so important to really hold on to the community that you do have that like genuinely is there for you, because it's hard to come by.
Oh, for sure. Who was the last person that you had to let go of, and why?
I don't know. Probably my ex. I really don't like burning bridges with people. And so, like, unless they do something like very, very, very wrong, or I do something to hurt them that's like, you know, irreversible. But like, I think that, yeah, that was probably the last person that I really just cut off, because it was just like, there's no reason for us to speak. Like, not even on some bad terms, like,
Right.
oh, I really don't ever want to speak to you again. It's just like, why would we?
Right. Have they congratulated you at all?
Yeah. they
Okay. The number still works for them.
No, we're wishing each other roses, but like, we don't need to be in each other's lives.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so a lot of people have talked about your music sounding a lot like SZA's music. How do you feel about those comparisons?
She's legendary, iconic, so I'm gonna take that as a compliment. I'm glad that people think that I sound like SZA.
You know, like, what a great compliment.
Right.
Yeah, I always wonder how artists feel when they hear that. Is it a compliment? Do you get nervous? Does that make you feel like, oh man, I really got to step it up now? Because that's a high bar, right?
For sure. But it's never going to change like how I make music. I think that especially with this project that we just put out, it is very me. Like, there's a lot of songs on there like Grrl's Grrl, for example, that like genuinely you're not going to find that song anywhere. So I'm like, I don't know if you're going to continue. I feel like genuinely only women get comparisons to each other. Like, a lot of female artists are the only ones that experience that, because people just like don't understand how to contextualize artists without being like, oh, you sound like this person,
Right.
which is like fine, but also just like, just enjoy the music. Like, form your own opinion.
It is a lot of comparison. We really don't see that with the male artists. That's so interesting. Yeah, for sure. So I feel like you've also been able to just take feedback in general, you know, when people have labeled you as an industry plant. You know, some people might not understand that term. They just throw it out. It's like,
I truly don't even know what that term means.
so I pulled it up
honestly.
because I knew this was going to come up. So it's when an artist seems independent but secretly backed by a label or team from the start to appear more authentic. So now that we know we're on the same understanding of the definition of an industry plant, you had posted a funny meme of photos of you, you know, making light of people calling you an industry plant. That doesn't bother you, clearly.
Something's working, obviously, if you think I'm an industry plant. I don't know. Like, I guess we're doing a really good job. So thank you. I'll take that as a compliment again.
Yeah. But to give a little, you know, just context, I think where the conversation is that the success that's happening for you, it's undeniable, right? Like, you see the momentum. It's like, it feels like, oh my gosh, where did this person come from? So I think that's where people are saying that, you know? So I want to talk a little bit about that. How were you discovered?
I mean, it's definitely unprecedented, and it feels like lightning in a bottle sort of situation, because not a lot of people ever get an opportunity like this off of TikTok. I mean, off of a TikTok video.
Yes.
Yeah, I had been just literally doing everything I possibly could, like, as an independent artist, just like pushing on TikTok, pushing on all socials as much as possible. I wasn't dropping a lot of music. I was just spending a lot of the past couple years just recording a lot. And so whatever demos I was getting from those sessions, like, I would just put up on the internet. And like, Pookie just happened to be one of them that caught.
Now, Boo has worked with icons over the year. Just to give context for people who don't understand, Boo's also Akon's brother. Funny enough, we just had Akon on the show. But just so that people understand, Boo has a music executive that has literally worked with everybody. You think of it, Rihanna, Lady Gaga, the list goes on and on. So he sees this.
He found my TikTok.
Okay.
So, okay, this is the whole story. Basically, The day that I was still living in Jacksonville. The day that I was about to sign my lease to move to LA. I'm on the phone with the property manager, and then I get a notification on Instagram. It's from Boo. And so I'm like, I'm scrolling, I'm talking, like completing my application, whatever. And then
Oh my gosh.
Boo is literally like, hey, I'm a big fan of your music. FaceTime? I'm like, not this random man trying to FaceTime me.
But how did you know it was legit? Wait, so
No, I didn't know it was legit.
Okay.
But you don't understand. I'm in a place of like survival where I'm
That's
like,
right.
I'm about to come to LA with $5 in my pocket. Like, what's going on?
Right.
And so I'm like, what could hurt from a phone call?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he gives me his number, and like off rip, we FaceTime each other.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was like, okay. So I'm looking at his face. He's looking at my face. I'm like, what's up? And he was like, yeah, like I'm seeing your videos on TikTok. Like, what's good? Like, are you signed? Like,
Wow, this is
do you have a
nuts.
team? What's going on? I was like, yeah, like it's me and my 2 managers. We've been locked in since the jump. Like, what's up? And he was like, I want y'all to come to Atlanta and let's talk shop, basically. And so I was like, okay, I don't know what that means. I'm moving to LA either way, so I don't know what you're on.
Yeah.
So then we come out to Atlanta, we meet him, and just like off of just seeing how he moves within his team and the way that he treats his artists, like I knew that I wanted to work with him because he is so artist forward.
Absolutely.
He is very much so the person that's going to champion all your weird ideas. And so like that's what I respected the most, is that like he was willing to see through anything that I wanted to do.
That's crazy. But it's also incredible to know this because the internet, it just shows the power behind TikTok and just these different spaces. A lot of times we think like our work isn't being seen, right? At that moment, did you expect somebody to see it and actually do something with it and
No.
open up doors that changed your life?
Yeah, literally.
Did you think you were getting catfished at all?
Yeah. No, I was like, we're going to hop off this plane and it's going to be someone very random. Like, I have no idea what to expect.
And now your managers, what did they think? They were like, are you sure? Were they like...
I would not do anything unless this man was like, okay,
Okay,
this
wait,
might
are
be
they
legit.
here right now? Okay, wait, I just...
Dan.
Okay. So did you also think you guys were getting catfished? No. Okay. So you had faith that this was like legit.
Yeah, we
Okay.
knew about Boo and full bats.
Okay. So you felt... Okay, so now you get to... like the whole thing is happening. Who is the first person you called to tell this news to? This is life-changing news.
At the time, I was with my ex, so he was the first person that I called.
What did he
told.
say?
I'm so proud of you. Like, do you, girl? Hey. So, yeah, that was the first person that I called. And then, like, over time, shit just got to become more and more and more real. Like, I think every day up until Pookie's Requiem came out, I was like, man, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what life is anymore.
Yeah. Like, why? What was going on during that time? Did it just feel very surreal?
It felt like one long Atlanta episode. No, for real. I felt like Paperboy.
Yeah. Was it what you expected?
No, nobody ever prepares you for things like this. You know what I mean? It's just all very quick, and you have to act on the momentum and just like stay grounded as possible, because like you can get caught up in the woo-woo so fast.
100%.
So
How have you been able to stay grounded?
the music first and foremost. Just sticking to my guns, sticking to the things that I know that I'm good at. Because then, like, I remember before we even put the project out and I turned it in, like, I was having a moment of doubt where I was like, am I good enough for this? Like, imposter syndrome was hitting hard. And it was just like, there's all these people in this room that care about this project and they're so passionate about my success, and like I have to measure up to it. Like I can't just give up, and I don't know. It's a lot. It is a lot of pressure, but like it feels good to know that like I do have a lot of people behind me that like want to see me win.
Yeah, absolutely. How does it make you feel when you do see or hear the conversations about your music and, you know, people saying, oh, your music is cultural appropriation? I know you had a conversation with Fader a little bit about this, but how do you feel about those critiques, right? Does it hurt your feelings? Do you understand the critiques, you know, where people, they're saying, hey, her project is getting a lot of support in comparison to other R&B artists who are Black, for example, and maybe the music's more popular because she's not a Black artist. How do you take that in, also knowing that, reading your response to Fader, your appreciation of being in the space, how do you take it?
I genuinely don't fault anybody for feeling the way they do, just because at the end of the day, I understand how sacred the space is and how important it is to protect it. Because there are a lot of people that commit erasure, you know what I mean? And like, I'm not trying to do that at all. I genuinely just really love making music. And of course, I want to be conscientious and like, I don't want to offend anybody. But also, I can only move in the most authentic and genuine way that I possibly can. Now, at the end of the day, like, I understand. I just understand. Like, I'm not here to argue with people. I'm not here to convince you otherwise of who I am or like over explain. Because at the end of the day, like, I know what I stand for, and I know that like, at the end of the day, I get it. So. I promise you, I'm not the one. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay.
How did you learn to be understanding and to, be mindful of the space and to have a conscious effort to be respectful, right? And I'm going off of, again, your response to Fader before. I could read a little bit of it. You said, I don't blame people for making assumptions about me. I think people are going to contextualize me with whatever they know or have experienced themselves, especially in the space that I'm in, which is R&B and hip hop music. I respect the space that I'm in, and I pay homage to the people that came before me, because at the end of the day, without all these amazing artists, music would not exist. And you go on to talk about, there are people out there being disrespectful. There are people out here just ignorant to a lot of things. I don't consider myself that person. I think I'm very well read and I'm aware of everything. But at the end of the day, I don't want to piss people off. Yeah. Very mindful, right? Like, how did you understand that, right? And coming into the space with respect?
Because again, like, even the music that I make was influenced by another Black artist. Like, I'm not going to deny the fact that like everything that we do culture-wise comes from Black people. So like, I'm not going to sit there and argue with someone and be like, yo, like, because you're taking up space, like, this could be somebody else. But I also feel like, to a certain degree, like, I have worked really hard, and like, I genuinely just love making music. So I'm always going to go back to that first and foremost. I think that, yeah, I want people to feel very vindicated in their own opinion. Like, I don't ever want to make them feel like, oh, you shouldn't feel that way because I work so hard. Like, it doesn't matter how hard I work. Like, at the end of the day, if you don't like the music, if you don't like me being here, that's okay. Like, I'm not here to convince you otherwise. Yeah. And I think that I can only continue doing what I'm passionate about and like continue lifting up other people that I really respect, and just move in a way that's mindful. Because at the end of the day, I'm not here to argue with anybody. Yeah, really.
Who's inspired you musically? Let's talk about the influences a bit. And who do you feel is important to pay homage and show the respect to because they inspired you so much?
I'm always gonna say Andre 3 Stacks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, he's always been up there for me. Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu, Minnie, Aretha.
Legends on legends on legends.
I'm saying,
legends on legends.
Frank Ocean, Solange.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot of people.
Great list so far. That I'm sure that's just some. That's just some. When do you plan on releasing your debut album? The pressure is on.
Whenever the music is done, whenever I feel like the music is ready.
Yeah.
Whenever I feel like the people are ready for it too. Because I think that right now we just, like, Zach, Adam, and I just had a lot of fun making all this music the past 2 years. And we basically just like skimmed off and felt like these are the songs that I feel like really represent who I am as a person. But now I feel like we get to go back into the studio and just keep having fun. And like that's I'm always just gonna lead by feeling.
Yeah. Now you write and also produce yourself. Do you ever get in the studio and you're like, man, I know I could produce this better, but I'm gonna just be cool. I don't wanna.
No, I've never felt that way either.
Oh, you're too humble.
No,
if I had
genuinely.
any talent like you, I would be like, guys, relax. I got this.
No. I genuinely feel like I could trust Zach and Adam forever with my life. Like,
and tell us who they are for people who may not be aware of who Zach and Adam are.
Everybody, Zach Ezzy and Adam Krevlin are my producers. They are the Timbaland to my Missy. They're Pharrell and Chaz to me. Chad?
Yeah.
I said Chaz. I was thinking of Tori Imoa for a second. But yeah, they are the dynamic duo that make all the sounds possible. They've taught me so much about analog music and so much about live instrumentation in the 2 years that I've known them. Adam is the most, like, literally the most talented mixing engineer I've ever met in my life. He has taught me so much about vocal production that I literally cannot fathom. Like, he's an actual genius. And Zach is just... music lives through him. I don't know. He was put on this earth to actually make music for nothing else. Like, I don't know if he's going to be a philanthropist one day. Like, stop what you're doing. You're here to make music.
Yeah.
But they're my two main producers, and they've been the ones across this entire project. We've brought in a lot of other friends that have helped shape the world a lot. Shout out T.Y. Jake, Anoop, Jack Dine. I'm missing a lot of people right now, but like, they were my first like people in LA. Like, they were part of the first like community that like really showed me it was possible to actually make music, because they were here from the jump before anything.
So before Boo's called to you?
Yeah, they've been there for 2 years before Boo even knew who I was. Like,
so the win is different with them.
Yes, absolutely. Like, I was flying back and forth from Florida to LA, like sleeping on their couches. Like, they did not know where this was going to go. They just knew that like it felt right when we were in those rooms, in those sessions. And so like we have like a very, very close relationship because they've just been here from the jump.
You like to win with your friends and people that I feel and 100% understand. Like, just seeing how happy and excited you got right now just to talk about them and what you guys are working on. I'm happy for you. It's important to feel that, and it's important to win with people that you weren't winning with at a point of your life, you know, and to see the win on the other end. It just pays off. The long nights, the not having enough money for studio time. It's a lot that goes behind it. So anybody we can expect to be on the debut album? Any surprises? Anything that we can look forward to? Maybe some hints?
I don't know. I hit up so many people that I really respect for features, and hopefully they follow through. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't speak on it because I don't want to say it here and then jinx it, and they're like, you, Sailorr.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I mean, no, Sailorr.
Forget you, Sailorr.
Forget you, Sailorr.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to speak on anything. I hate speaking on things before they actually happen.
100%. Okay, so when it happens, you must come back because I want to know the details, how those studio sessions were, the creativity behind it. We need the details of the actual process because I already know, I'm sure it's going to be very creative.
Yes.
Already, for sure. Now, you had mentioned something that you want to honor women. Complicated women, messy women, toxic women, women who double text and spiral. Which woman are you?
Healed. That
sounded so sweet. Healed. I'm healed. Okay, you're healed. How did you get healed?
That's very nonlinear, okay? It's a very, it's not like I'm perfect, but I think it helps being in a healthy relationship now because that forces you to take accountability for yourself and check yourself at the door always.
Yes.
And aside from that, like, the person that I'm with now makes me feel so safe.
Oh.
And I think that that's also very important to grow as a person because if you don't feel safe within, like, your community or within your friends, then, like, you just kind of put up a facade for people. But like being with this person, and also having such a strong community around me, like, really forces you to put the mirror up to yourself and just, like, accept.
Yeah. Well, I know you're healed, but just, a little quick flashback, just a little toxic talk with Sailorr, if you don't mind.
Let's go.
Should you be sharing your locations with your partner?
I do, but not on a tip of, like, I'm gonna check that all the time or check it all the time.
Yeah.
I don't check their location all the time. I just know that, like, on a safety tip,
Yeah.
it is very important, especially when we're traveling.
For sure.
Yeah.
Should you ask someone's body count in the dating phases?
You know that's going to hurt your feelings, so why even ask?
I agree. I don't think it should ever be discussed.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's nobody's business. Like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like, who cares? I'm here with you now. That's what it is.
That's all that matters.
Right.
Yeah. Is it okay to text your ex and wish him a happy birthday if you're in a new relationship?
No. Why?
Yeah.
Unless y'all are, like, friends and y'all really kiki like that, like...
Do you
But
think
don't.
exes can be friends like that?
Not if the relationship was fresh. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like, maybe 4 or 5 years down the line, like, oh yeah, this is like, we're actually homies now. And if they actually show up for you as a friend,
Right.
then yes. But I feel like if I started dating someone and they were, like, still friends with their ex, I'm like, oh, you're not over your ex.
Right.
Bet.
Yeah.
I'm on. I'm like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. See you later. No
Yeah.
thanks. For sure. Okay. So your boo brings you a nice gift. You hate the gift. Do you tell them that their gift sucks?
I'm not going to say it sucks, but I will practically be like, I'm probably not going to use this. But I love you, though. Thankfully, my boo knows how to,
Yeah.
He tricks. I'm kidding. No.
What was the last thing he got you? Now we got to know.
Marnie slides.
Oh.
And they were pink.
That's sweet. Okay. Well, and if I asked him, what was the nicest thing you've done for him?
I just got him a sampler from Teenage Engineering.
Okay. So how expensive are those?
They're not that expensive. They're like 400, 500.
That's
depending.
not, but it's thoughtful.
Yeah.
It's like the effort behind it. Okay.
Definitely.
If you break up with somebody, should you delete all of their photos, videos, everything off of your Instagram or social media?
Yeah. Especially if they're, inappropriate photos. And you're...
Oh, yeah.
No, I've been with somebody in the past that, like, kept a Google Drive of all of their exes. It was very strange. I was like, it's giving revenge corn.
Yes.
So I'm like, yo, you're being weird. And I also broke up with them, like, immediately after because I was like, yo, that's mad weird. Like,
That's really weird.
yeah.
You were onto them.
Yeah, because, like, why do you need that? Also, like, those people that you have photos of probably are not consenting to you keeping them.
100%.
Yeah.
I love that you can see something and leave right away. Like you're not negotiating.
But I used to be the negotiator.
Oh,
I used to be.
not anymore.
But who's negotiating? I'm negotiating with myself, being like, girl, you should stay. No. Get out of there.
We're done.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for spending time with us today. I'm excited for you to kick off your tour. Are you nervous for it? Are you excited? What are the feelings that you're having about kicking off your tour in June?
I don't know what to expect, genuinely. I'm just trying to keep an open mind and an open heart, and whatever happens, happens. I'm excited just to get on the road with, like, all the people. Again, like, it's the people that have been here with the jump that, like, I really get to win with. Like, it's all very surreal because, like, this is all so unprecedented. We've never experienced these things, and then we get to walk through it together.
It's incredible.
So it feels good.
Enjoy it every single minute because you're never going to get these moments again with your team. There's only like a first, the one first time, right? Like,
Right.
So all of it, the planning of the tour, it's exhausting, all the annoying factors to it. It's all part of the process. Mm-hmm. What do you want people to remember your artistry by? How do you want people to view it, your legacy?
I hope they remember me for my writing. That's all. I mean, if that's... Like, I hope that they can take away from this why I do this and who I do it for. And I hope that they also think I'm just as clever as I think I am.
Sailorr, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And it's so great to hear you speaking about just like your creativity, your music, and what your music means. You said something right now. I want to ask you, who do you make your music and your artistry for? And why is it important to share it?
For women.
Yeah.
All these songs for women. All these songs for women.
I'm excited for you. Enjoy this journey. It's just getting started. But, you know, when things are rolling out, please come back so we can talk about everything. I want to know the details. Who was great? Yeah, who kept their word to show up for the album?
You will get first look. You will get first look, first ear, first everything. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you, Sailorr.